you've been talking about your goal all week.
Yeah, obviously pretty happy with it. Played, 50 games without one, and the boys were giving me a fair bit of stick, saying that the day will never cut them. So, I was pretty wrapped with it. Pretty lucky it went through.
And most defenders, they tend to, usually a set shot from a 50-metre penalty or something like that, but to do it on the run under pressure, even bigger feather in your cap.
Yeah, look, I've been practicing it over the last few weeks, so thankfully that one come off how it did, and I was happy with how the result come.
How many times have you watched it back, do you think, honestly?
Honestly, probably about 4, 5, 6 times. Could keep going.
From a defensive point of view, though, at the end of the ground where you normally spend your time, you must have been thrilled with your ability to quell what is a really potent attack in the Giants.
Yeah, they've got stars across the ground, but especially up forward, Toby Green. I know Jesse Hogan wasn't playing, but Jake Stringer, and they had a few more players that are, stars in their own right. So for us as a group, especially a back group, a defensive 7, I think we stood really tall and played to the best of our ability, and we're happy with how we went.
What's it like playing on Toby Green?
Yeah, look, he's a star. He's a All-Australian captain. He's got heaps of tricks, and I've played on him a few times now. So, I really appreciate the confidence that the coaches put in me by, getting me to match up on him. So, you always learn a thing or two playing on him, and it's always a good battle.
And then you spend some time on Finn as well.
On who, sorry?
Michalanney.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, so when Toby went to the midfield, played on Finn, and he's a star as well. Smooth mover for his height, and smart footballer.
Is that something you've tried to add to your arsenal, to be really adaptable and just be thrown around wherever? Because I guess that could throw you out of the game, but it seems to be something you really relish.
Yeah, I think you have to in today's game, being able to play on tools, smalls, and being versatile. So I think across our whole back line, we can all really do it. It's something that I want to bring into my game and show the coaches that I can do.
Probably been a fair bit of pressure on back line and obviously to whole team, particularly to stop shootout and stop big opposition scores that had been happening. So how much confidence has the backline group taken from limiting such a good opposition?
Yeah, I think it was probably one of our best defensive performances of the year. So I know we've scored, I guess we've conceded a fair few goals in the previous rounds. So to hold GWS 30 or 40 points, whatever it was, it was a good feather in our cap and something that we're proud of.
What do you take, from that game, that defensive performance is so good going against another bloke in cap in Freo, they've got guys like Tracy, how do you manage that?
Yeah, it's going to be a good challenge every single week, but I think in saying that, we've got good talent down in the back line ourselves. So we've got Nick Murray, Mark Keane, Josh Worrell, all those boys that can take on those key forwards. So, it's always going to be a good challenge, but we're confident with the players that we've got that we can get them done.
Touch on things you're working on. Is leadership another one of those? Obviously, the back line is a very beautiful back line. Since you've come in, you've basically been ever present. Is leadership another thing you're working on?
Yeah, for sure. I think everyone's always working on it. I think you've got to be careful not to force it at times. We've all played a fair bit of footy together now, so we're all learning what each other like, what their strengths are, what their weaknesses are. So I think we're gelling really well together as a group, and we're showing that on the field.
When are you taking on the fines role this year? What's that been like? How's that experience been?
Yeah, I actually haven't done one yet. I've got one later today, so my first ever one. So, hopefully that goes well. But, it's all good fun. Hopefully lift the spirits with the boys, and, hope they enjoy it.
Who's in the firing line?
Oh, there's a few boys in the firing line. You would have saw Darcy Fogarty with the tattoo and stuff like that. But, it's never anything serious. Just a lot of housekeeping stuff like 50-metre penalties and, little jokes like that.
On that, with the review, how do you assess a game where there were some really strange skill errors from both sides and the wind and the conditions were difficult? Like, how strongly do you address that in the review, like some of those execution things, or do you just chalk it up to a bit of a weird game?
I think the coaches are pretty cautious on getting into the boys about execution. I think it's more decision making that they're worried about. In a game like ours, it's pretty easy to make mistakes and a lot of things can happen. So not dwelling on those mistakes, but more focusing on the decision, whether it was right or wrong, and we can go from there.
Was Shelley a chance as well?
Yeah, we hope so. He's doing everything he can at the moment to be fit. I think he trained today, so he's pushing for selection, and hopefully he gets up.
So you trained today too, or so did he handle contact?
I'm not 100% sure exactly what drills he did, but he was definitely out there, and from all reports he's he's pushing for selection this year. This week.
How about Darcy? Does he think he can risk that shoulder off a short break?
Yeah, again, probably the same answer, unfortunately. Yeah, I think he's been cleared of anything major, so yeah, again, he's pushing for selection this week as well.
Probably one of the tougher blokes you've got in the team, maybe ready to put himself out there no matter what.
Yeah, 100%. You know, we love playing alongside Darcy. You know, you know what you're going to get from him. We saw it on the weekend. He puts his body on the line every single week, and yeah, love playing alongside him. So hopefully he gets up this week and he can go again.
If he doesn't get up, but you know you have 2 key forwards rather than the 3 you've been playing with all year, how does that change things for your setup?
Yeah, I know. I suppose it's something new, and what the coaches want to do selection-wise is on them. But yeah, I think we've got good depth in the sample at the moment, and there's heaps of boys that are ready and pushing for selection, and they're ready to come in and play a pivotal role for us.
Did you learn anything from the road trip to the Gold Coast? You know, not necessarily game-wise, but just in terms of, again, it's a long trip to Perth, get so close, and maybe away trips have been an issue for you in the past. Is there anything you took from that game that you'll take into this game?
Yeah, well, we're pretty cautious not to dwell on past results and stuff like that. We'd rather just focus on what we've got coming up. So we've already done our review on what Fremantle are going to bring this week. So yeah, just focusing on that, and hopefully the result will take care of itself.
But do you want Caleb Sarong or Andy Brayshaw?
As in, like, to
Who
play
do you
on?
want to tag?
Tag? Well, if I was to tag someone, I don't know. They're both tough players, and both bring 2 different things. I don't know who would be harder, to be honest. Both good players. Might have to go with Sarong. He gets more of it. Take me to the ball. So yeah.